Yo, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate you all for hanging out with us. It's the Kill Zone. Hop on in. It's Thursday night, baby. I am joined by the illustrious, golden-voiced, the Night Watch Zone. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing really good after that one because you said illustrious.
Yeah.
I've heard some nice words here and there, and we usually, have nice intros for each other. But illustrious, I like that. I might have to use that.
It's the first word that comes to mind when I think of you. So,
Jesus. Okay, wow.
So I got you, man. Nothing but love in the Kill Zone, baby. You know,
right.
you know what's up. Sorry, I'm Cursed is with us. Throwing the scream emoji out there. We love it. We love it. We're talking a little scream tonight. We're doing a new game on the page, which I hope to continue this series for years and even decades to come. That's how much I'm excited to play this game. We're gonna be playing Over Under from Rotten Tomatoes, guessing the scores of these movies, not just the Scream films as well. I've also thrown in a few other hidden gems, you might say. The first one that's not a Scream film is in no way a hidden gem. That's your first hint. But some other Wes Craven, Kevin Williamson, or just adjacent movies to the Scream franchise in some way, shape, or form. So we're going to be trying to guess the Rotten Tomato scores, and then giving our own review. Are these fresh movies? Are these rotten movies? It's going to be fun to break down and talk a little bit about.
Oh yeah.
Want to say hi to a few more folks, and then we're going to get going. It's going to be a rapid fire stream, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing this quick. We're getting in and out, and it's going to be a little gross.
We're getting in and out. Wow.
I just chugged a Red Bull before the stream night. I don't know if you could tell or not.
Hey man, whatever it takes, bro. Whatever it takes. I'm all for it. As long as it's legal.
As long as it's legal, yeah.
Yeah.
I was hanging out in the bathroom of a nightclub before this too, but don't worry about that. Anyways, we got Paula Fitzhenry saying hi, everyone. What's up, Paula? Welcome in. Ghost in the Dark Kills. Love the new profile picture. You got a devil ghost face going on there. Very sick.
Love that.
What's up? Hope you're having a kill night. Yeah, we are. That's what we should have named this, the kill night.
Yeah. Wow. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Coming up with names over there, it's awesome. Hope you had some badass horror movies. Stay psycho. Thanks for hanging out with us, dude. Appreciate you. A few more folks out there just want to say hi to Samantha Robinson, yo, yo, yo. Josh Petrino, the VFX supervisor on Terrifiers 2 and 3 is also hanging out with us, which is crazy. What's up, Josh? Welcome in. Kelly Stroh Snyder is here too. Thanks for being a channel member. Erica's modding tonight. And Horror Lover is also saying, hey, JK Knight. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone had a great day. 5 weeks till Scream 7. Let's go, baby.
That's right.
Yes.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Oh, my God. Knight, we're almost there. It's crazy.
We're almost there. And, man, I'm just so hyped with all the marketing.
I know. See, 2 weeks ago, this would be a joke, but we're actually kind of getting some stuff, right? I mean, like a little bit of stuff.
Are we? No, just joking. We did get that poster. That poster was kind of nice.
I want another trailer though.
Of course.
I really want to see more footage.
Yeah. But hey, I'm not gonna say anything because we could go down a huge rabbit hole on that.
We're not even going to play the game. We're just going to bitch about Scream 7 some more, actually. Yeah. I love it. But a big group hello to everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us a ton tonight. And so let's just get right on into this. But first, Gina has sent a super chat in, which for some reason I can't put up on screen. Check out the UK Ghostface teaser. What? Is this new, Night? Do I just not know about this?
I didn't know about it. I'll be honest with you.
Oh man, that might have to work on a video immediately after the stream ends, Gina. Wow. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate it. We're definitely gonna have to check that out soon. Let's crack on into this though. We have starting us off with the original classic is of course Scream, but I do want to throw something out there about Rotten Tomatoes. A misconception is abundant when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of people believe that the percentage is actually how good or bad a movie is. However, it actually comes from the fact how many critics recommend it or audience members. So this is going to be more, we're guessing more so like how many critics, how many audience members recommend the film, just to put you into that mindset.
Right.
We're going to go through all 6 Scream movies and some other ones. I already said that. Let's start off with the original Scream. Night over under 50%. What do you think Scream hits? Definitely over. Yeah, come on now. It's definitely over. Now, this one's a little tougher, though. Over under 75%.
And I used to know this offhand. I'm gonna say I think barely over. It's right around there if I remember correctly, which was crazy if I remember correctly.
You are correct. Yeah, it is a little over 75, which I think is what makes this one difficult for the critics. It's 78%.
Mm.
Now, it is also over 50 for the audience. Do you want to guess over under 75 there as well?
Ooh, under.
It's actually higher than the critics score. It's at
Okay.
80% from, so 80% of audience members.
Okay.
I'm curious your thoughts on that. So 78% of critics recommend the original Scream, like the original classic that started this all off. Audience members 80%. How do you feel about that?
You know, it just sounds super crazy when you kind of look back at what this film did, what it is, what it was. You know, to me, and I know we all say this, it's cliche to say it, but it's true. I really do think it helped to save horror, specifically the slashers. And I'm gonna tell you, man, because I was around then. I mean, I kind of checked out, of horror. I can honestly, and I'm enough of a horror fan to admit that. I'm not saying I didn't watch any horror, but it wasn't like really like I would go to the movie rentals store and I'd be just like fiending for horror. And before Scream came out, there was like that period like 93 to 96, maybe 94 to 96. Hard to remember that far back, but I was also looking at other genres, you know what I'm saying? Um, and there just wasn't any big stuff out in horror. And when Scream came out, it's like boom, it just kind of juiced everything back up. So, anyways, I don't mean to rant, but it's such a great film, and it did so much that it's hard to imagine that it's at that level, at that low of a score. You would think it would be maybe mid 80s at least. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really shocked by, like putting all this together because I'm like, man, I would argue Scream is one of the most important horror films of all time, love it or hate it. I mean, I
Hmm.
can't see I can understand maybe not giving it a perfect score if you're someone who's not like the biggest slasher fan for whatever reason, but
Right.
I just feel like with how much weight this film has. I mean it almost has
Hmm.
like an entire subgenre of Scream inspired movies. Like you could classify that as a subgenre. There's so many movies now that are
Yeah.
kind of like that. I was just so shocked by some of these reviews I was reading on here as well. I think we're both in agreement this is a fresh movie though.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
So, good review on this movie, which I loved, from Josh Winning of Radio Times, reads, with its genuinely bone-chilling opening and utterly fresh take on the genre, Scream is nothing short of a modern classic. Hell yes. But bad review from the Tampa Bay Times, Scream trots out one suspicious and underdeveloped character after another to fake its ingenuity and still comes up with a clunky climax later than necessary.
Wow. For real?
That is a hot take in my humble
Yeah.
opinion. I don't know.
Yeah. That is a super hot take. I think, part of it too could be, and I might just be shooting in the dark, but I think Scream brought the limelight back to horror, specifically slashers, and saved it. And maybe because it had been in the dark for a long time, I would say, especially slashers were in the dark at least 4 or 5 years, because this was kind of when Halloween was barely staying afloat. Elm Street and Friday the 13th had kind of fallen off the wayside. So there might be remnants of that old vibe and sense of culture that was still kind of penetrating Scream and people's perception of Scream.
Yeah, because man, like clunky third act. I mean, I just think about some of the other slashers that I've seen, especially from the '80s, like what you're talking
Hmm.
about. Like there are some of I love slashers. Don't get me wrong, but there are some of these movies that like either way too damn long or just really slow paced, despite how long they are. And I'm just comparatively, Scream to a lot of other slashers. This is a very fast paced, intriguing movie all
Yeah.
the way through.
Yeah,
It's just a wild take to me, I guess, in
it
in the
is.
grand scheme of the slasher subgenre.
So
Um,
true. So true.
but speaking of the classic slashers, we have to quickly deviate from Scream to talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street, the Wes Craven classic, one of the movies that put this man on the map. Also, some interesting reviews we're about to get into, but over under 50 for the critic score. What do you think?
Over.
Of course. Over 50 for sure. Over under 75 though.
I'm gonna, oof. I'm gonna. I used to know these too, man. This is really getting to me. I'll say over.
It is over. This is a higher score, like significantly higher than Scream, which is
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah,
94% for the original Nightmare on Elm Street from critics.
yeah.
It is also over 50 for the audience. Do you have a guess for what you think it is from the audience score?
I would guess at least 88.
Oh man, you're really close. 84% from audience members.
Ooh, okay.
I'm curious your take on this. Like,
Yeah.
especially compared to that Scream, percentage earlier.
Well, I'll tell you this, and it it is interesting, but I think that, and again, Wes once again coming to save the day. I think in '84 there was a little bit of a lull. We had the golden age of the slashers, which was like '78 through like '83 ish. Even though in '84 Friday the 13th had Part Four, which arguably is one of the best Friday the 13th films in my opinion, and is great in its own right. But there were like, I mean, hundreds of slashers in that 7 year period or so. I mean, we had people going out there with $20 and making slasher films because they knew that Carpenter did that. Well, he did a great job with Halloween with a low budget and so forth. So I think that Elm Street came and really showed an elevation in craft, obviously with Wes, and also one of the most creative horror films still to this day. I mean, and I love Elm Street. You know that. I mean, I'm a Friday the 13th guy, but I love Elm Street, grew up on Elm Street, and it's still to this day so damn creative. Freddy Krueger is still one of the most creative killers of all time. And so I think all of those things were a part of how it was viewed. And I think horror and slashers were still kind of, I don't want to say fresh, but you know what I'm saying? We didn't have a bunch of the of the crappy films, like a Freddy's Dead or Jason Goes to Hell or all those
Not yet,
films.
right? Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. We
Yeah.
didn't we didn't drain everybody out with those films yet. And so when Elm Street came along, I think that horror was looked at in a more positive light. And Freddy Krueger was just, I mean, the popularity of Freddy was just crazy.
Well, there's a fun to those early Friday the 13th movies or similar movies that are kind of in that same vein. There's like this fun, you're almost kind of rooting for the slasher a little bit. You want to see him like kill our annoying little teen characters. And then
Hmm.
Freddy leans all the way into that in 1984. And I think that's what really hits with audience members and builds New Line as a company entirely from the ground up.
Yep.
It's such an impressive film for that. What I will say is I'm shocked that critics especially nowadays, that's at 94%. 94% of critics recommend it. And not because like it's a classic. I love this movie, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But compared to Scream, the acting, dude, like
Yeah.
maybe it's just me, but the acting is rough in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, like comparatively to Scream 1996. Like you would think
Yeah.
the critics would appreciate that a little more about Scream versus Nightmare. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, 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 you're right. I mean, definitely the acting is on a whole different level. I think what shields Elm Street is just again that imagination and creativity and the scare factor. Like it
Yeah.
truly, it's funny we're talking about Elm Street. I just did a video on Elm Street,
Oh, so you're
and
fresh on this. You're
I'm
ready to go.
fresh, and a lot of stuff I knew and then other things I found out. But, it really tapped into a primal fear. Everyone has to sleep and everyone dreams. So I think that kind of, and I'm not trying to put it down, but I'm saying I think that shielded it a little bit as far as those things that weren't super fantastic like the acting. I think there were some folks that had some great moments, but then there were some that were just kind of, yeah, the characters are just there. I could have been in Elm Street, in other words, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. Whereas Scream, you have Courtney Cox and David Arquette was just so charismatic, and Nev Campbell and everyone else, Matthew and Skeet and Rose McGowan, they all were pieces of a puzzle that fit so well, and these characters really leapt off of the screen. But yeah, I think Elm Street, they let some things slide. I think just because the overall package was just so amazing and fresh.
Well, and I think you made a really good point about like in terms of concept, this is a scarier movie. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like I
Yeah,
think Scream is great. It's a lot of fun, and like the way that it like kind of rips on slashers, but not in a malicious way,
yeah,
is great in getting inside the head of people who have also watched slashers. But I think in terms of like what's a really genuinely scary concept for a slasher movie, you can't sleep or the guy's going to come after you, and you can't get
hmm,
help. You know what I mean? How do you ask for help in that situation?
hmm,
It's way scarier than something like Scream. So okay, yeah, I hear you on that. I can see how critics could look past performances. Heather Langenkamp, by the way, great performance in that movie. I just want to make that very clear. I'm
yeah.
talking more so about some of our side characters.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even Johnny Depp. I mean, Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
and I love Johnny Depp, but he was no Jack Sparrow yet. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And even Wes Craven was talking about, Johnny Depp would sometimes check in with him because he needed reassurance. As far as what he was doing, it was his first major film. He got his break from that, and I give credit to Johnny Depp too because he does not shy away from the fact that Wes gave him his start. Which I think is pretty cool.
He doesn't pretend like he just like wasn't in that movie like another actor that
Yeah,
we
like
we talk about sometimes.
yeah, but yeah, I never saw Jared Leto in Urban Legend. I don't know about you.
Was he in that movie? I don't know.
Well, hey,
He's not a main character or anything. I don't know. um, don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface is throwing 5 out there. Thank you for the support, my friend. You're saying that you heard a theory that the opening kill, likely of Scream 7, is a stab opening. That might explain Stu's house being burned. Knight, just rapid fire here. Do you think this could be it's all faux? It's all fake. It's in a stab movie.
No,
You think we're really burning down Stu's house?
I think we are. I think it would be such a cop out. I mean, it might be cool, but I want to see it really happen.
I also think it would be like almost too meta if it was like we're talking about the stab movies and then we're inside of a stab movie. Like I don't think
Yeah,
I think that would fall flat on its face. Yeah, no, I think we're really burning like the weight of burning down Stu's house sounds way cooler to me than it all being fake. So me
yeah.
personally, I hope it's real. Don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. Thank you for the 5. Really appreciate that. Gina's also saying the teaser I mentioned is Ghostface talking about traitors, and there's 3 Ghostface. What? I got to see this like immediately. This is crazy. Gina,
Wow.
if this is for real, if this is a real Scream 7 trailer and we're seeing that there's at least 3 ghost faces, that's huge news. That's nuts. I'm gonna have to see what this is all about. We really appreciate it. Don't tell me
Right.
anymore because now I just want to see what this is all about. But thank you for the 5. We greatly appreciate it. Kay is throwing 5 out there too, saying hello, Knight and Jake. Hello. What's up? What's up? Wanted to stop by real quick to say hello and also wanted to share that tickets will go on sale February 9th for AMC, guys, if you want to get your Scream 7 tickets.
There it
Really
is.
exciting, baby.
Hmm.
Let's make this a huge box office I was gonna say box office bomb, a big box office celebration. There we go.
There
Let's
you
not
go.
make it a bomb. Okay, thank you for the 5. I'm really excited. Coming up real soon here, almost a month away.
Jeez.
I'm gonna skip the reviews for that one because they're not as poignant as the Scream ones. But getting into Scream 2, 1997 comes out a year later. Over under 50, my friend, for the critics.
Over. It's definitely
It
over.
it is definitely over, but over under 75.
Over.
It is over. It is 83%, which, if I'm not, yeah, that's higher
Yep.
than the
Than the
original
original.
Scream.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I'm again shocked by that. But I think what's even more shocking is the audience score. Over under 50.
Over.
Over, but over under 75.
Under.
It's 59% from audience members, which
Yeah.
for me, that is a different score than when I first looked this one up. I don't know if that is something that correlates with you or not, but that's not the score I remember for Scream 2 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I think it has changed. But I do remember the difference of the audience score versus the original, and I wonder, where that might come from. Because look, man, I'll tell you what, when the second film came out, we were still riding high. We were still hyped up, and Scream was still amazing. Um, Even in my friend group, I remember people saying, "Yeah, I can't believe it's another good film," and I don't know necessarily that my friends thought it was better, but they definitely enjoyed it a hell of a lot. It was close. So I don't know. Maybe over the years things have changed for the general public.
Well, and again, these percentages are talking about people who are either like recommending it, like they liked it, and they would say other people would enjoy this flick. And like it feels too high from the critics and it feels way too low from the audience members. Like just
Yep.
based on conversations I have had with other people who have seen this movie or are fans of Scream, like it seems like audience members, fans of Scream, love Scream too. Where critics, I could see having problems with this one because it does get into some goofier stuff that might not work for people who are more analytical of film. So this was just like a really shocking rating. This is to me the most shocking thing on this whole list. But you know how I feel about Scream 2. I do really love elements of it. Some elements I would
Yes.
even go so far as to say are better than the original.
Hmm.
But just to wrap this up, fresh or rotten, what do you think for Scream 2?
Fresh.
I'd give it fresh too. I have problems with
Yeah.
it, but it's not a bad movie by any means. It's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's got a lot of great things going for it. And I also think that I love the evolution of the relationship with Dewey and with Gail.
Yes.
Most of all, I think that that really, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Nev, and I think that Randy had some great moments. I love the scene with Randy and Dewey. Everyone does. I love Timothy Oliphant, obviously, but I think Gail and Dewey really kind of drove the train a lot, character wise in the film. And there's great stuff. The chase, the scene in the car, the opening is great. I thought the finale was really good. The twist with Derek, that was, a gut punch. So it has so many great elements. It really does.
I also love the stab movies. Like I think that's a really good idea.
Yep. Yep.
It's a great evolution of the ideas from the first one, and like to be
Hmm.
like, oh, there's an in-universe movie series that is basically just the movies you're watching, and we're kind of chronolog like we're going through the success of the films that way, but we're also analyzing how franchises develop that way. And
Yep.
that's something that, of course, stays true through multiple other sequels. And I think some fans are sick of the stab movies. I get that at this
Hmm.
point. But to me, it's like that really was a great idea here in Scream 2. And I understand why so many other sequels have riffed on it, you know?
Hmm. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, now we're getting into another weird one here. We have Cursed from 2005, a movie that this is gonna be a hard one to guess. Can I just tell you that right now? This is probably the toughest one on the whole list today.
Okay.
First of all, I want to preface this for anyone guessing at home. Nobody cheat. Nobody look up online the scores. Cursed is a movie where it reteamed Kevin Williamson and Wes Craven together, and they were supposed to make this big werewolf movie. It was supposed to be Scream for werewolves, and it flopped big time. Studio interference, holy
Yep.
shit, a lot of crazy things just ended up happening with this one. Not so good things, sadly. But it does have a cult following. It does have a lot of people who think that it is still very good and
Hmm.
underrated. So with all that in mind, over under 50 for the critics.
Under.
It is under 50%, over under 25% though.
Ooh, I'm trying to remember. I'll go over.
It's under at 16%. From
Ooh.
only 16% of critics recommend this one. Yikes.
Ooh. 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 That's rough, bro.
That- Now the audience score is different. It's different. That's what I'll say. Over under 50.
That's so tough. I'll go under.
It is over under 25 though.
Over.
It is over. Damn, dude, you're killing it. Yeah, it's 30%
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
audience members. Like there's a you know what I mean? There's definitely a group of people who are like, no, this movie's crazy underrated, deserves some more love. And
Yeah.
I love that. How what are your thoughts on it though? Would you give this a fresh or rotten review?
It's tough. And of course, you try to not look through it through the lens of a fan, being a fan of Wes and understanding also, as content creators, we find out so much stuff. We look up stuff and research, knowing all the issues behind the scenes. Like they had to reshoot so much of this film. And it's like, man, that's just too bad. It really is. They had a pretty good game plan going into it. Me personally, I can still enjoy it. And I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I still have fun with it. I'm a fan of Christina Ricci and the rest of the cast. It's fun. I love werewolf movies. So for me, I'd recommend it. I do realize the problems and the issues that it has. But again, I understand why. And maybe it's just because, again, I'm a fan of the cast, the director, and also those type of films.
Yeah, I'm I want to like this one more because I love Kevin Williamson, I love Wes
Yeah.
Craven, and I can't even blame them for this movie because like you can just tell watching it, it is the product of studio interference. They were like,
Yep.
do this instead of that, and then it ends up being like way too long. I don't know. There's some character stuff that I just don't think makes any sense.
Yep.
And yeah, it's one of those things where I can't really blame them, but also I think art is in the eye of the beholder and all that fun stuff. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I got to give this is a rotten for me. Sadly, I wasn't crazy about it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It just too long, too much stuffing, not enough actual meat and potatoes in this one. So
Hmm.
just my thoughts on it. But we're moving on to Scream 3 now, which is also this is a divisive one, I feel as well.
Yeah.
It's very all over the place. For the critics, over under 50.
Um, Gosh, I'm trying to remember it. I'm gonna say under.
It is under 50, but is it over under 25?
No, it's over that.
It is over on fire tonight, night. Let's go. Critics gave this one a 45%, which is like that's half of the Scream 2 score, which sucks. That's
Yeah,
brutal.
I know. It's crazy. It's like, damn, it ain't that. I mean, well, anyways, we'll get to that.
From audience members, over under 50.
Um, Gosh, that is so tough. I want to say over.
It's under.
Oof. Wow. Dang. Oh,
I was shocked by the
yeah.
audience score for this one. Over under 25 though.
Over.
It is over. It's at 38%, lower than the critic score. Again, another
Jeez.
this is another one that shocks me because I won't I want you to go first talking about if fresh or rotten review, but I just feel like this is another one that Scream fans in particular cling to. They're like they will defend this one with their life and with good reason in my opinion. Knight,
Yeah.
your thoughts, fresh or rotten review for Scream 3.
Well, I'd still give it a fresh. I will say this. I've grown to love it more and more over the years, like in the last whatever it's been, 10 years. And maybe part of that is just because of my love for the characters and that universe. Um, I saw the issues with it when I first saw it, and I can see the issues with it now. I did a deep dive on it, and we all know about those issues behind the scenes. But it's still fun.
Yeah.
There is. I mean, it sounds crazy, and I'm not trying to sound cheesy, but it is fun. Like I can watch it and have fun and smile. Jennifer Jolie is a vision in this film. I'm still enjoying Gail and Dewey. I think the finale is really good. I love the setting of the mansion. It's definitely cool. I think the opening isn't as good as one or two, but I still had fun with it, and it was a gut punch for me because I was a fan of Cotton. Um, and I like the setting, I think it was fun to have that type of a setting and this whole thing, with this cast that is imitating our beloved characters. So, I don't know, maybe I would give it like a 60%, 55, 60%. But I still have fun with it. It's one of those movies that even though I see issues with it, I can still watch anytime.
This is a fresh movie for you, and I'm with you there. I don't. It's like just barely fresh, though, is what I will say. I don't
Mhm.
think 40. Only 45% of people recommending it. 40. That's not what I mean. It's just it's a. This is lower than what I expected. I guess is my point because I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I can forgive with this movie. Its
Mhm.
campiness like kind of sweetens up some of those plot points that you really got to stretch to make sense.
Yep.
And I also just love the punk rock filmmaking of this. We have Harvey Weinstein breathing down the necks of these filmmakers who are just there's constant rewrites. There's a bunch of bullshit just going on surrounding this film, which sucks. But they still were able to make fun of Harvey Weinstein, an absolute piece of shit when it comes to Hollywood through the
Yep.
character of John Milton. And I gotta love that about this flick. It is so goofy. It is as Jay is literally saying, with his $2 super chat. Thank you. Scream 3 is the best Scooby-Doo solving a ghost face. Yes, it is totally that. But then it also has what Scream is known for, meta commentary on the industry with the character of John Milton. So for me,
Yep.
I think I used to be really cynical with this flick. I've very much so come around to it. It's still probably at the bottom of my rankings, but it gets the job done of what a Scream film needs to do. It is
That's
fun.
right.
It has meta commentary. It checks all the boxes, baby, just in its
Yep.
own kind of fucked up and messy, unique way.
It's true.
But it does hit, I think.
Yeah.
Before we get into Scream 4 here, don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface, throwing 5 out there. Wanting to give a shout out to Zach Cherry, who does awesome Who Did What in Who Killed Who in Scream, I think is what you mean. He makes the scenes even creepier. Yes, he has some great videos. If you guys have not seen that, definitely check it out. Zach's awesome. Lots of good content from him, for sure. Don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate the shout out. Very good stuff there. Now, Scream 4, I feel like, weirdly enough, I almost feel like it's kind of similar to 3 in the sense that it is also maybe a little divisive for some people. It's got some things that are great about it, and it's got some weird shit going on too. So I'm gonna say that about every movie, I think, going forward. But Scream 3 and 4 especially. With 4, critics score over under 50.
Over.
It is over, but is it over under 75%?
It's under.
It is under. It's at 61% of critics recommend this one. Shocking for me, at least. This is one I feel like is so much better than, like, critically. I'm gonna shut up. We'll get to that. Audience over under 50% though.
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll say over.
It is over, but is it over under 75%?
Under.
Under again, yeah. This one's a lot closer. 57% from audience, 61% from critics. This is insane to me. But Knight, I'll throw that to you. Scream 4, the best sequel, without contest. I'm kidding. Fresh or rotten review from you, sir?
It's fresh. I have so much fun with this film. I think it's great. I think it shows you how you can introduce new characters and still respect the older characters, the OG3. I thought it was a great balance, and hopefully we see a good balance in 7, because this is how you do it. This is how you do it. It also had a wonderful reveal that still just such a gut punch. I couldn't believe it. And it was fun. I loved seeing the characters where they were at. They were more mature and living their lives, and it felt organic. It's my favorite sequel. So there it is.
I totally agree. I think it's like outside of the original Scream, this is probably my favorite. The only thing that I understand people really not liking about this one is like the piss filter, which everyone talks about.
Yeah.
It's not that it doesn't bother me that much. It
Yeah.
it makes the film look gross, but I also think it's like on purpose trying to make fun of like the remakes of the time, like the horror remakes that all kind of looked like that, especially like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and like Friday the 13th. I feel like kind of have
And
that.
Bloody Valentine.
Yes.
Yeah.
They all kind of had like that weird like certain color scheme to them that just kind of was like weird, very 2000s. Like it's just so 2000s.
Yeah.
So like that to me, the opening scene is a little whack. Maybe there's one too many meta jokes, but outside of those, these are small criticisms, in my opinion, in the grand scheme of things. This is a great sequel. I feel like very ahead of its time, still very relatable today. I watched Scream 4 for Jill. I do too.
Right.
Jill is great for a million different reasons, but her motive, dude, if Scream 4 released right now, that motive would still hit hard.
Yep.
I can't stress that enough. That it's the one of the best motives in the entire franchise. It's timeless. It still hits today as internet culture is still just such a big thing. I don't know. Scream 4 is crazy ahead of its time. It's awesome.
I agree. The motive is great. The reveal is great. The dialogue after the reveal is great. The viciousness is great. I mean, they were way ahead of their time, and it just kills me. They didn't have great marketing, and people kind of came late to the party, and gosh, man, I'm just telling you, it's crazy when you think about all of that, and it's such a good sequel. It's such a good film.
Yeah, yeah, and it really is a shame that it failed to meet that like profitability line that it needed to hit,
Yep.
because it is great. And I don't know if I've shared this story on stream before. I'll be insanely quick about this, but I just talked to my fiance's sister's husband recently about Scream. I'm sorry, this is out of absolutely nowhere, but he recently told me he was actually in theaters for Scream 4. Like, he went and saw it, and he couldn't
Mm.
believe that it didn't make any money. He told me he was in a full packed house opening weekend for
Wow.
Scream 4. He's like, "What do you mean it didn't make money?" He's like, "Dude, we were, whooping, going crazy, like just screaming at the screen that we were so hyped up for this one, and it seemed like it had a lot of positive reception." So he was shocked when I was telling him it wasn't a profitable film. And
Yeah.
I don't know, still nuts to me to think about. We love Scream 4, though. We all know that. Let's talk a little bit about the two I Know What You Did Last Summer films, though, which is so funny that you put that in there, Ghost in the Dark. I got you. I'm on that shit. I Know What You Did Last Summer, 1997, coming out, from Mr. Kevin Williamson, just not even a year after the original Scream. Over under 50% from the critics.
Oh man, this is tough. Mm. And I don't remember the score on this. I'll say mm, I'll say over.
It is under
Okay.
50%.
All right.
But is it over under 25%?
No, it's over that.
It is over. It's just barely 47% from critics. Like,
Ooh, yeah.
that feels really rough. Like
It
many would
does.
consider this a classic, and for it to
Yeah.
have 47, that's a little wild. Audience members, though, over under 50%.
Over.
Under again.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This was shocking to me. But over under 25% from audience members.
Over.
It's also 41%. Critics and audience members very similar rating with this.
Wow.
I was a little shocked by this
Yeah.
one. What are your thoughts? Is this a fresh or rotten movie for you?
It's fresh. It's fresh. Um, I think first of all, this was actually his first movie that he wrote. And so a lot of times when people say, "Oh, well, this is just copying Scream," it's like it's kind of the other way around, but it's just that they were released differently. Um, and I think there's a lot of fun in it, man. Like there's some really good stuff in it. The mystery is fun. Great chase scene. I think that chase scene was like seriously one of the best ever in horror. I loved the cast. Ryan Felipe is like trying to kick everybody's butt, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
um, nah, man, I think it's fresh. It's one of those few films, and we know the couple that was able to come after Scream and actually hold weight. You know,
Yeah. Without a doubt, it's definitely one of those films.
Yeah.
I think, honest to God, it has one of the best chase scenes in movie history. Like, I think everything going on with Helen Shivers in the middle of this movie is amazing. She's my
Yep,
favorite character in the whole thing. Hot
yep,
take. Love Julie
love her.
James, but Helen Shivers is my character in this one. I think she's
Yep,
amazing here.
yep.
I also just feel like this is such a crowd pleaser. So I was so shocked that the
Mhm.
audience score is so low. Like, only 41% of people who have seen this recommend it. That's shocking to me. That
It is shocking.
genuinely kind of like a what? I expected the critic score to be kind of low. I feel like
Yeah.
this is not a movie made for critics.
Right, 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 right. True, true.
But with it being such a crowd pleaser, I just really thought that would have a higher score. So this was shocking to me. Again, it's not a I don't know, it's not, to me it's maybe just barely deserving of horror classic status. That's maybe, maybe a little much for this flick, but it's not a
Yeah.
bad movie by any means. I would give it a
No.
fresh review too.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it still holds up. I watch it every once in a while. It's in my rotation. And actually I just watched it a couple months ago, and it was still fun. It still hits. I still enjoy it. So there you
Now, Knight, get ready to be pissed off, because we're also talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025.
go. What are you waiting for? Hey, but no shade to Jennifer Love Hewitt, because like even though they did her dirty, and I still enjoyed her in the film. Yeah, what
she
a
she tried her best,
she did. She did. They didn't give her
They
anything,
gave her
bro.
nothing to do in that movie.
What are we
It's such a shame.
doing? Like,
Uh
there was, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking of 80,000 other ways they could have put her in the film and actually make it worth it.
I know.
And I'm like, this is what we're doing? Come on. I was just
We're
so,
doing cheesy repeat lines from the past. Like that's what
oh
we did in like
man.
these legacy continuations back in like 2013. Are you kidding me? Come on. It's just
Oh,
it's so
dude.
outdated. It's so like it feels like it doesn't feel like it was written by young like it doesn't feel like it was written by its target audience, and that's what brings this one down. But anyways,
Yeah.
what do you think the critics thought of this one over under 50%?
Over. No, under.
It it is under, but is it over under 25%?
Oh man, it's got to be right around there. Okay, just for the fun of it, I'll say over.
It's over. 36% of critics
Get the out of
recommend.
here.
This is so, I'm sorry, frustrated.
Wow.
This is an incompetent movie. Like, this is a movie that you cannot watch without subtitles. It doesn't make any sense. I can't stress that enough. Like, this is how fate is with Scream 6. This is
Yes.
my Scream 6. It's not a
Oh
competently
my
made
God.
film, and yet 36% of critics recommend. It doesn't make any sense. But oh, get ready to be real pissed off. Over under 50% for audience members.
Oh, come on, man. Are you serious? Okay, well, it should be under. It's over.
Over 50%.
Come on. Come on.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the stream.
Okay, it's time to
All
shut
right.
down the stream. It was real nice, guys, being here.
I know what you did last summer, 2025 broke it. But is it over under
Wow.
75%?
Oh, it's under.
It it's close. 67% of audience members, which mind you, way more than the audience score for the original film. Guys, I want to make it
Wow.
I want to make a point here that Rotten Tomatoes is rigged.
Holy crap. Hey, you know what? It'd
Just
be so
remember that.
you know it'd be so funny, and I know we don't have any time content-wise to do this, but we should just dedicate a stream where we're just going off on I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like just either ranting or hell, do a watch party where we're literally just shitting all over it. Something. It would be so hilarious because I I remember we talked about it before it came out, obviously. There were so many things we were hoping for and that we thought could make it a cool movie. And it's just like, how do you miss that badly? It boggles my mind.
It's such a as someone who really does appreciate the original film, it is just such a miss in regards of trying to hit something to a similar stride. I mean, for
Mhm.
me, on all facets, it pretty much just bombed. It has characters that are annoying, not
Yes.
relatable. It has
Mhm.
twists that are just convoluted rather than feeling like a little more personal, like the original flick.
Mm.
It missed on every regard for me. I was just so I was so bummed out about that one. Real quick though, I think we're both kind of in agreement. This is a rotten one. Wow, what a stinker. Hollywood guys throwing 5 out there saying, "What is going on?" I wonder what was the Rotten Tomatoes score of Valentine. It needs a sequel, damn it. So we're playing
Ooh.
over under with Rotten Tomatoes. I'm having Knight guess what the scores are of some of our favorite Scream or Scream adjacent movies. So play along with us. Don't look it up. Don't cheat. Come on. Just guess the movie as we do it. It's fun. I didn't put Valentine on here, but now I'm regretting not putting that on here. So
Mm.
maybe next time we do this, hopefully, fingers crossed, we get to play this game again because I think it's
Yeah.
fun. We'll absolutely we'll throw some more some urban legends, some Valentines, some of those
Yeah.
on there. That'll be fun. But
That
Hollywood
would be.
guy, thank you for watching with us. Greatly appreciate you a ton. Eric is also saying I never trust Rotten Tomatoes ratings. I know people to ask.
There
I
you
will.
go.
I actually share this article I've shared it in a few videos before, but Rotten Tomatoes is rigged, guys. I want to throw that out there again. So these scores are basically kind of just BS. It's whatever, but it is fun to think like, what's on the site? You know, what's going
Right.
on with all of that? So, Erica, thank you for the 2. Really appreciate you. Don't trust Rotten Tomatoes, but this game is still fun. All right, final 2. We got Scream 5 and Scream 6. Scream 2022, the movie that I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 totally ripped off. Critics critics score over under 50. What do you think?
It's over 50.
It is over 50, over under 75%.
Under.
just barely over at 76% from
Get the
critics.
hell! Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. Interesting.
I'm cool with that. Audience score, though, over under 50.
Over.
It is over under 75%, though.
Under.
It's over again at 82%. So critics, audience
Ooh.
members, pretty much in
Okay.
agreement there.
Cool.
Now, Scream 5, the return to the franchise after 11 years, would you give this a fresh or rotten review? Oh man, not a good start.
Well, no, because I really want to think about it. We've talked. I mean, as you know as well as any of us four in the collective, and we've talked about 5 and also 6 a lot.
Yeah.
I'd still give it a. People are gonna probably come after me. I'd still give it a because a fresh is still what is over 50. It's fresh, right? Or is it
Yes,
60?
over. Well, just 50. It's what is it? Hang on now. I just scrolled past it. So sorry. It's 76% of critics just recommend it. Like 76% of critics who watched it gave it a fresh review.
Yeah.
Is all that means.
I mean, for me, I still think it's fresh. I mean, I had some issues with it. We talked about that ad nauseum, but I think overall, it's still a fun film. Still a lot of great stuff. I think Ghostface looked great in it. I come to enjoy the reveal more and more, and I've come around on Amber more and more. I think the opening attack, it's admirable. I think it's lost some of its luster to me as time has gone on, but it's admirable that Tara survives. And yeah, I'd say it's fresh.
I'm with you. I'm on the fence with a lot of elements with this movie for sure. But I think that the shocks and surprises, twists, really give this one some weight, at least for me. Some of the character stuff isn't great, let's just call it what it is. I think Scream 5 probably has some of the worst side characters just in general. And it just feels like very cookie cutter, like very like, okay, we're just going to have these characters in there and they're going to just outwardly list things about themselves opposed to organically building character relationships and connections.
Yep.
A lot of that stuff feels forced to me in this movie, especially in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like once we get into the back half of this one, it starts to come alive. Judy's death, and then Wes's death, and then Dewey's death. That whole sequence like brought me on board with this flick. I was not loving the first half of this one, like really at all. And I was so ready to walk out of the theater being like, man, Scream 2022 sucked. But then all that happened, and I'm like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
First half of this one I think is kind of garbage. I'll be honest, but I think after the halfway point, it kind of comes to life, which is great. So I like this film. I'd give it a fresh review. It's definitely lower on my rankings than it was in the past, but I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it time and time again. I know you feel the same way. I mean, there's no horrible Scream film,
Yeah.
And I think that is special. I think it's the most consistent major horror franchise that we have. And even though 5 has some issues, it has a lot of great stuff. I loved Dewey in this film. I think it was David Arquette's best performance, and he's had a lot of great performances in this franchise because he's the heart, he's the pulse, he's that character that has that charisma and everything. So it's still a lot of great stuff in it, and I can still watch it and have fun.
Dude, yeah, and Dewey's best performance, like in all 5 of these movies, like because he's a joke in the other flicks, and that's fine. I love that about David Arquette playing like this goofier kind of side character, but like I just feel like Dewey comes alive in this film. Like it is such it's I think one of my favorite performances I've ever seen from David Arquette. He's the shining star of this movie in so many ways. I love the killers in this movie, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Amber's reveal is fucking awesome. Like a top 3 from the whole series for me at least. Which I guess is a hot take, but the moment she shoots Liv in the head, I mean, I will never be able to. I don't know if I'll ever get a moment like that in the movie theater again. Just everybody gasps, an orchestra of gasps. It was amazing. I mean, I don't think we're getting that. I don't think we're getting that for Scream 7. You know what I mean? Like that was so. Oh, I wish I could. If I could relive a movie moment I've had, it would be that. Like that Scream 5 reveal. Fuck, that was so good.
I was radicalized.
And
I love that part where she's begging. It's great.
Yeah, Mikey Madison, just such a great actress too, man. I don't know. Nothing but love for Amber, dude. Hell yes.
Yeah, man. she's awesome. Did you and as a quick aside, did you see her on Saturday Night Live?
No,
She
no.
was hilarious, man. Like I was like, holy crap, she's got a good sense of humor too. And on SNL, you can either look great or you could look like, all right, bro, you gotta stick to what you already been doing. But she was
Yeah.
hilarious. And I was like, yeah, I mean, she's got the talent. And like I said, it's crazy because I used to really rag on her a lot. Not that I hated the character, but it just didn't come together for me. And as I watched it more and more, I was just like, you know what? I'm actually kind of digging this chick, you know? So,
When she
yeah.
goes crazy at the end, like her performance is just like one, like her and David Arquette, my two favorite parts of that whole movie. Like I'm so
Yeah.
serious. Wow. I don't know. Great stuff. But this is a weird movie to recommend, like, especially if you know what this movie's about. But have you seen Anora?
I haven't seen it yet. It is on my watch list, and I've heard good things about it.
I like it's a look, I'm just gonna be real. It's Mikey Madison boning people the entire movie. It's a
Yeah.
weird movie to recommend, but I think it's beautiful. It made me cry.
Mm.
And I recommend it. I'm gonna sound like a fucking weirdo recommending this, but I think it's an amazing movie. I think it's a little blown out of proportion because it like swept the Oscars like the year it came out. So I think some
Yep.
people are like, oh, it wasn't that good, and it
Right.
wasn't that good. But it's a good movie. It's a really solid watch, and it's Mikey Madison in with doing an incredible performance is what I'll say.
Mhm.
So you
Hey, we
watch
got a
it, but
Ghostface who's got an award, Academy Award.
yes. Put the
You
kids to
know,
bed first before you put this one on, though. for,
right?
for sure.
Mm.
Okay, sorry. Love Mikey Madison though. I could nothing but praise for her.
Mhm.
Scream 6, latest entry in the franchise. Over
Mm.
under 50% from critics.
It's over.
It is definitely over 50%, but is it over under 75%?
Dang, man, I don't even remember. I'll say under.
It's over at 77% from critics. So
Wow.
77% of critics would recommend this one.
Nice.
I'm a little shocked by that is what I'll say. But we'll,
Mhm.
we'll get into that in a sec. Audience members over under 50.
Over.
It is over. Is it over under 75%?
Oh, over.
It's over at the highest rating for a Scream film. Like the most percentage of people would recommend it from the audience for Scream 6 at 90%.
Wow. I didn't know it was that high. Holy shit.
Listen, I will defend Scream 6 with my life, but
Yeah.
it ain't that good. It's not, it's not wow, 90% of people who walked out of that movie theater loved this. I don't know.
Wow.
What would you give this, a fresh or a rotten review?
Well, I would still say it's fresh, and I would say, look, when you first watch it, there's a lot of you're getting a lot of dopamine, man. That
Yeah.
opening was awesome. The early reveal, we had the cult, we had multiple Ghostface killers were running around, had some really big excitement, a lot of characters. The shrine was awesome and reliving all of that nostalgia. Kirby came back. Um, a lot of great stuff. The subway, the New York setting, um, the apartment chase and high rise fall and all of that. It was a lot of great stuff. And I think when I first came out of it, I was riding high too. And then I started thinking to myself, hey, who died in this movie?
Yeah.
And but I still do enjoy it. I think it was a lot of great stuff in it. They just made a couple of things. We should have had at least one, if not two, deaths that didn't happen. But other than that, it's a lot of fun. The core four, was great. Seeing Chad and Tara come together. Sam was a badass. So yeah, I think when you leave the theater and you just you're riding a high, you know. And so I can understand maybe the audience score being very high. It'll be interesting to see how that looks, in another year or two, or maybe a couple of years.
Yeah, and the thing I will say about that for sure is I think for Scream fans especially, I think this is a fun watch because it is so Scream coded, Scream DNA. I mean, it is everything
Yeah.
about Scream is all over this film. There's a lot of nostalgia, but there's also a lot of like critiques of Scream. You know, it was a big point I was making on the Lethal Collective this past Monday. Is I kind of, that's what I'm drawn to about the flick. That's what I'm still really enjoying about it.
Yeah.
Years after watching, is that we're kind of like poking fun at the franchise and what came before it. And I think that's why some of these reveals might have felt obvious, you know, in the moment, and you might have felt disappointed by certain things. But it's like, I feel like that was kind of done on purpose in a way. And that works for some, maybe not so much for others, and I totally understand that. But for the most part, there's no like huge sin that this movie commits, for me at least. Like, there's problems with it, but there's nothing where that like just totally takes it out of takes me out of it, like I think some people have that relationship with. But what I'll say about it is that I think it is just this is so much, it's such a fun movie. Like for me, it's the one that I find myself rewatching the most. I think just out of like the majority of the sequels, this is the one I'm having the most fun with lately. I don't know if that's just recency bias, I don't know what that is, but this is, hot take, this is the most fun Scream film I think we have in the whole bunch. I have a great time with it every time I put it on. I'm never like not in the mood for this one, at least for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a lot of fun stuff in it, you know, and it has a nice pace. I definitely can understand that. It's a lot of fun to this movie, and again, I think the fandom, you know, we're very passionate and we love our Scream films, and that's a huge advantage for the franchise. And sometimes it can be very high expectations, and if you pivot the wrong way, people are gonna let you know, which is fair too. But again, when you're talking about a slasher, you know, horror film, and I've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, this is a really good one. And again, you know, we were talking about that on the collective. Maybe that's not the way to look at it, but for me, that's how I look at it. It's like, yeah, I have fun with it, and it's well made, and you know, I'm digging it.
Yeah, I vibe with this one. I think it's a good time. I do understand why maybe some people, you know, a couple of years later are not as crazy about it though.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I feel like it doesn't focus on, like, it is both focusing on Scream things and not focusing on things that you come to expect from a Scream film. You know what I mean? Like, that's what, it's just such a weird sequel. And I appreciate it for being so weird. I understand why some really do not. But Gina's throwing 5 out there saying Scream 5 reveal is much better than maybe 3 and 4. Is that what, or
I think so.
Maybe 3 and 4. Night guys, I'm getting glared at by my Ziggs stuff critics. Hey Gina, so thanks for the 5. So much love. I hope you get some good sleep. Thanks for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciate you. Night, I know we got to wrap this up like right now, but just real quick, final question.
Sure, yeah, that's okay.
Scream 7 prediction. Do you think that we're going to have an over under 50% for critics or audience members? Just thoughts on that.
I think, okay, for what we're hoping that this will be, and the elements that we know are in it, you know, including Kevin helping to write it and stuff like that, it'll be over 50. It should be for critics and the audience. Whether or not it's over 75, I think a lot of it's going to depend on how this story comes across, especially with the past characters, the choice that they make as far as how that all works out. I think that's going to be integral to whether it's over 75 or not for critics and for audiences.
It's hard for me to predict because again, Rotten Tomatoes is rigged and they, you know, pay people to give them good reviews, bad reviews, whatever. But what I will say is I think that Scream 7 is going to have a tougher time getting a good audience score in particular because there has been so much weirdness with this film, you know, between Melissa and Jenna kind of getting, you know, tossed away. That was a whole controversial thing. Christopher Landon not doing it anymore and getting death threats. Like, there's just been so much bad juju with this flick. There's a lot of people who have vendettas against it before it even arrives in theaters. So I have a feeling it's not going to get a lot of, like, not as many positive audience reactions. So I'm predicting, the one prediction I feel confident in is I think, which is maybe a weird take, I think the critic score is going to be higher than the audience score. That's my one prediction I'm pretty confident in right now with Scream 7. Not much else.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be one of those where it's, in terms of actual quality of movie, I'm not sure, but when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's going to be, that's my one thing. I hope this one is better than Screams 5 and 6. Outside of the Rotten Tomatoes scale, do you think this one is going to be maybe the best of our whole new like little requel trilogy?
It has the potential. It really does. I mean, like I said, if they can find a way to bring this thing together and tie it all up, which again, that's just my fan wish or theory or whatever, it could be the best of these three. I definitely think it's got the best chance to have the best character development. You know,
Yeah.
if I walk away from this film and there are characters I have no idea who the fuck they are, I'm gonna be so jacked because I'm like, how is Kevin a part of this and these characters don't hit, you know? So I think it definitely has the opportunity to have some of the best character development and interactions that we've seen since four. And I also think it could be the best Sydney film.
I think it's got potential to do some more interesting things with like Sydney as a character than like what
Hmm.
happened with Sam in the previous
Yeah.
two flicks. I definitely feel confident in that. I'm worried that the story is gonna feel a little redundant though. I think that's definitely something I'm like I feel like we're gonna be walking away from this one being like, well, that was kind of just Scream 4 again, you know? Like these
Yeah.
things we're seeing in the minutia of the trailer, you know, like little interactions between characters. I feel like this is gonna be Scream 4 if Jill didn't end up being doesn't end up being the killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Replace Jill
Yeah.
with Tatum here, and I think that's my. Will that be a problem with this film? Well, I guess we'll see in like a little over a month, right?
Right. Yeah. 5 weeks,
um,
bro.
5 weeks. I'm so excited for this flick. It's going to be a ton of fun. I think no matter what, I'm walking out of this one with a big smile on my face.
Hmm.
Gina is reminding us to check out that UK teaser. I will absolutely check it out, Gina. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the two.
Yes.
So much love. Knight, is there anything else that you want to throw out there before we wrap this whole thing up?
First of all, this was a lot of fun. And it just shows you how perception it's crazy,
Yeah.
between all of us, critics and audience scores and everything. But I will say again, you got to give this franchise credit. They've been able to weather the storm 30 years, a lot of imitators, a lot of competitors, and they're still doing some really cool stuff. So, as we know, I know what you did last summer 2025. It's really hard to do this.
Yeah.
But Scream, in my opinion, it's one of the best major horror franchises out there.
Yeah, and I hope that 7 just continues that streak. That's I don't even need Scream 7 to be the best sequel. If it's just
Yeah.
another really good one,
Hmm.
I'll be happy. As long as this franchise is still one of the best out there, rock on, baby.
Yep.
Real quick, Hollywood guy throwing $5 out there. Thank you, my friend. I checked the Valentine Rotten Tomatoes score and it's no bueno. I'm saddened by that. Sorry, Jake, I cheated. It's all good. We didn't have it. I fucked up. I didn't put it on the list, Hollywood guys. That's on me, dude. I don't want to look it up now because I'm going to be sad. But Hollywood guy, thank you for the 5. It'll be on the next game, I promise. But guys, go subscribe to the Night Watch Zone. He's over here actually. He rocks so hard. Go subscribe to his page. He rocks so much. Thank you for watching tonight. We got to wrap this up quick. Check out the stream tomorrow. It's at 7 o'clock. I think it's 7 o'clock. Maybe it's 6. Who the fuck knows? Come to the stream tomorrow. It's going to be fun. So much love, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us on not the Lethal Collective, whatever this is. Killzone. We'll be on Night's page next week. So much love. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.